Well, hello everybody. Glad to see you tonight.
Welcome to Mother Phoenix Rising and my wishes.
Yeah.
What are we talking about tonight?
Oh, we're going to talk about budding out. You know, get out of people's way or getting out of their business.
Or having people get out of your way?
Yeah, either way. I mean, we've got to start talking about that. Things that people don't want to talk about. A lot of us get caught up in, somebody else's business. It's none of our business. And,
I think sometimes we think we can fix it, or we can help them fix their issues and bring to light some inspiration or something, and then we get trapped.
Well, I remember
we
one
get
time
trapped
and
and they get mad.
Yeah, I know, it's true. I remember my daughter coming to me, oh my God, and she was having problems with her husband for that 4 hours or whatever. Oh my God, she cried. There was crocodile tears and everything.
Yes.
And I was feeling God, oh my gosh, that man, you just got to cut his head off or something. I know that's just a silly term, but, and I was feeling the emotion. Well, the next day I stopped at her house just to say hello. And, I looked at her and she goes, is everything okay? She says, what are you talking about?
Oh,
She forgot.
Oh, they love
She
to
didn't care.
You know why? Because she dumped it all on you.
She left it on my porch, in my bedroom.
Yeah, and that's what our kids do a lot of times. And then they've got it off their chest, and they're like, "Okay, well now I feel better. Oh, it's not so bad." And then they wake up the next.
Out. What are you talking about? What are you doing here?
And then when you call them the next day, they're like, "We're fine." And you're like, "Well, last night you were ready to kill them," So it is interesting how that works, and.
You know where I learned my lesson? I had a friend that called me, and we used to walk all the time together, and she called me and said, oh my God. I said, how are you doing? She says, I had a heart attack last night. Went to the doctor, and he says, that's what happened. And I'm thinking, she said, that's what he thinks. He thinks I had a heart attack. And I thought, oh wow. And so that morning, I was going to go have coffee with all our friends. There was like 12 of them that would all meet every Saturday morning, and so I said, oh my God, I can't believe it. She thinks she had a heart attack. Well, 20 minutes later, here she comes. And somebody says, oh my God, we thought you had a heart attack. She says, what are you talking about? I didn't have that. I was so embarrassed. It's one of those things I need to butt out of those things and say, you know what? Not my business. Yeah. When you get caught up in that and sucked into it, then you become embarrassed, and then you're mad at that person, thinking, or how dare them do that?
How dare them drag you into it?
Yeah, you just get drug into these things, and I think it can happen with marriages, with your kids, with your friends, with your parents. There's all these things, and there's times something is said. That's why I talk about butt out. Many times my kids ask me for some advice, and I tell them, okay, doesn't matter what you think of this. Here's some ideas.
Right.
But it's your choice if you pick them. If not, that's okay. But I don't want to get into your business.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say that. Here's a couple ideas, and then I butt out.
Right.
I want to get out because...
Well, and I do the same thing because I don't want them to come back and go, you told me to say
you're
that.
The one that said
no,
that.
No. I'm giving you ideas of what my thought process is and what might be, what should I say? I might give you a couple ideas, but they're ideas. Don't take them as, it's got to come from you on how you really feel about the situation.
Right.
So,
but then there's the moms and that do.
The helicopter moms?
Well, they call them all kinds of names. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We all have to be realistic, guys. Get out of people's lives.
Yeah.
If you love them and you want to enjoy them and appreciate them, do that.
Yeah.
Don't get,
Well, unless they ask you. If they come in and ask you, give them.
But you're not butting in.
Right.
You're not butting in. We're talking about butt out of.
But don't try to fix everything.
Yeah, you don't belong in this. And then many times I remember even taking a class, like a Spanish class and an art class. People go and telling you on silly things. Did you see what they're doing? They're using the wrong brush, or what is the...
That's because they want to make themselves look better. Usually that's the way it is.
You think?
Yeah, when you rat on somebody else or you down on somebody else, it's usually because it makes you look good. Well, thank you, I don't no.
They're all going to think I'm really smart because I got involved, right?
Yeah.
But the whole point of this is just, it comes right down to reality. But get out of people's business. You know why we get in people's business sometimes? Because we are not paying attention to what we're doing.
We're not fixing our own problems.
We're not fixing
We're
our
trying
own
to fix
problems.
everyone else's.
Yeah, and we don't want to acknowledge our problems. Sometimes we just don't want to look at ourselves and say, okay, I can see the reason I'm calling them out or I'm, addressing that is because we will only draw what's in us. Always. And it could be the smallest
That's
thing.
scary. That is.
But it is. It's sometimes
Yeah.
way deep down inside. Something that could happen 40 years ago and that still sticks in your craw. Just like I said.
Or like when we maybe see something we don't like in other people, it's what we
Exactly.
do.
Exactly. There's sometimes that I even caught myself doing that. Thought, I've done that before. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I was frustrated when that person did it and I looked at it and then later I thought about it and I thought, I've done that a couple of times. And now I understand why I'm looking at it and watching it. But I've taught myself, and I really try to practice this. I'm sure every so often I probably, who knows, but I really practice the idea of, you know what, it's none of my business. I don't need to go in there and be, telling people what to do or how to do it or why to do it. If you're trying to control somebody, there's something wrong with problems that you're having on your own.
I know. Sometimes when I give advice to my kids, I'll laugh and I'll
You
go.
give advice to your kids?
Well, not advice, but when they
Yeah.
ask me about something,
What should I do?
I'll give them this beautiful advice, and I think, in my head, I'm going, why don't I do this for myself?
Yeah.
Why don't I take my own advice? If this is such a great idea, why am I not doing this?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just an eye opener to listen to myself speak out loud and go, yeah, this is what I need to be doing. But
So anyway, that's a simple little thing that we wanted to talk about, is that staying out of other people's problems, issues, concerns.
it might help you keep friends longer too.
Exactly.
Because
Because it could happen with anybody. It could happen with somebody at work. And you overheard something and you went and said something to somebody else and it turns out it's not even true.
You can never tell.
Oh my God, I know.
And sometimes I'll say, when someone goes, please don't tell anybody what I just told you, and I go, that's not my story to tell. That is your story to tell. I'm not going to go over
But
and
what
tell.
business is any of us doing?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. Well,
Yeah.
why would we tell in the first place?
Yeah.
So it's the way we all play the game. It's not a bad,
Yeah.
good or otherwise. It's like, hey, if we all want to get better and get along, butt out of somebody else's business. Address your own business. When somebody asks you for help, say, hey, you know what? Here's a couple ideas, things that I've experienced, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be okay with you. It might be something you want to try. Other than that, but out of it. Even if you feel like, oh my God, I'm being dragged into it. No, you're not. It's because you want to be there.
Yeah.
And-
Or you think you've got this really great
I
info form.
know.
it'll really
I can
help
solve
you.
this problem,
Yeah.
and 3 weeks later, you still can't
You're
get
thinking,
that person
oh my
off your
gosh,
head.
why did I even open my mouth?
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
you really in the end you end up regretting it if you start volunteering all this great information. You think
Yeah,
Or in
because
your own head.
it's not great information for everybody, and that's
right.
just not how people
what's
feel.
good for you isn't good for everyone.
Exactly.
And sometimes we don't really understand the depth of their situation.
well, their pain, their thoughts, their ideas,
and they may only be telling you half the story.
I know, and that's what's
So
usually
you can't
the
give
thing.
advice on half a story. So
Exactly.
anyway,
Well, have a good day. Appreciate you guys spending some time with us.
it's always fun. Bye.
Bye.